Among the greatest NFL success stories, few resonate as powerfully as that of Donald Driver. While most fans remember him as the Green Bay Packers' beloved wide receiver who helped bring home Super Bowl 45, Driver's journey began long before he ever wore green and gold. Before the touchdowns and the spotlight, he was a homeless teen sleeping in a U-Haul just trying to survive. This is the story of how high school sports not only shaped him but saved him. The darkest before dawn. To understand the magnitude of Donald Driver's high school transformation, one must first grasp the depths from which he emerged. Born in Houston, Texas, Driver's early childhood was marked by instability and poverty that would have broken many spirits. His parents, Marvin Driver Jr. and Faye Gray, divorced when he was just a young boy, leaving his mother to struggle as a single parent with 5 children. The family's situation became so desperate that they were forced to live in a U-Haul truck after a collection agency confiscated their possessions. Donald also spent multiple nights in motel rooms that his mother had purchased with food stamps. This wasn't temporary homelessness. It was a way of life that stretched on for months. The psychological impact on a young boy cannot be overstated. While his peers worried about homework and weekend plans, Driver was concerned with basic survival. The family would park behind grocery stores, hoping to avoid detection by security guards or police. They bathed in public restrooms and ate whatever they could afford or find. The shame and embarrassment of this existence would have been overwhelming for any child, but it also forged in Driver an unbreakable determination to never return to such circumstances. As he entered his teenage years, the pressure only intensified. Desperation pushed Driver and his older brother Marvin III into survival mode. They began stealing cars and dealing drugs, not out of rebellion, but out of necessity. As Driver would later tell USA Today, "You try to do anything you can to provide for your family." It was a harsh world, and for a while, it seemed like that might be his path. The turning point came when Driver was 14 years old. He moved in with his grandmother, Betty Lofton, and his life started to turn around. This move provided the stability and guidance that had been missing from his chaotic early years. The weight of these experiences could have crushed Driver's spirit entirely. Instead, they became the foundation of his incredible work ethic and his appreciation for every opportunity that would later come his way. The turning point, Milby High School. Donald Driver's transformation truly began when he enrolled at Milby High School in Houston. Tucked in a working-class neighborhood, Milby wasn't known for sending athletes to the NFL, but for Driver, it offered something far more valuable than prestige. It gave him stability. For the first time, he had a structured environment and mentors who saw potential in him, not just the problems others focused on. Still, adjusting wasn't easy. Driver arrived with the hardened instincts of someone who had grown up surviving on the street. Trust didn't come naturally. His early relationships with teachers and coaches were guarded, shaped by years of disappointment. Physically, he didn't stand out. He was just 5 feet 10 inches and barely 160 pounds. In a sport where size and muscle often turned heads, he seemed outmatched. But what he lacked in physical bulk, he made up for with speed, grit, and an incredible work ethic. Driver was a born athlete. At Milby, he didn't just stick to one sport. He excelled in 4. He lettered in football, track, basketball, and baseball, proving himself as one of the school's most versatile talents. On the football field, he did it all: wide receiver, defensive back, and kick returner. On the track, he was something else entirely. His athleticism wasn't just good for high school, it was elite. Driver earned Texas All-State honorable mention in football, an incredible feat given his background. But his most jaw-dropping accomplishments came in track and field. He was an Olympic-level high jumper, clearing an astonishing 7 feet 6.5 inches. That was good enough to qualify for the 1996 Olympic field trials. That wasn't just rare talent, that was world-class athletic excellence against all odds. Donald Driver's journey to the football field didn't start with dreams of gridiron glory. It began on the track. Coaches at Milby High School had been watching the lightning-fast sprinter and wondered if that blazing speed could electrify their football team. At first, Driver wasn't convinced. To him, football seemed like a sport for kids with privilege, those who didn't have to hustle for their next meal. But once he stepped onto the field, something clicked. While others wilted in the heat or grumbled about grueling practices, Driver dug in. For a kid who had endured real-life struggle, football's physical demands were just another challenge to overcome. Yelling coaches didn't rattle him. He'd heard far worse on the streets. Long practices weren't a problem. problem. He had worked harder jobs for no applause. Driver played with raw hunger. Every catch felt like survival. Every route was run with life or death precision. Every block carried the weight of someone who knew that no opportunity was guaranteed. His toughness wasn't just physical, it was deeply rooted in resilience. Yet despite his relentless performance, major college programs overlooked him. His size and his school didn't turn heads, but his grit did. One school saw what others missed. Alcorn State University, an HBCU in Mississippi, offered him a shot, a chance to turn that desperation into destiny. The foundation of future success. At Alcorn State University in Mississippi, he didn't just keep up the momentum, he turned it up a notch. Driver was a true two-sport star, excelling in both football and track and field, powered by the same work ethic that carried him through his toughest days. On the football field, he was a big play machine. He racked up nearly 2,000 receiving yards on just 88 catches, averaging almost 20 yards every time he touched the ball. That kind of speed and consistency made him a go-to guy for his quarterbacks and a serious problem for defenses. But on the track, Driver's raw athletic talent was even more eye-catching. He soared in the high jump, the triple jump, and the long jump, posting elite numbers that proved his Olympic trial performance in high school was no accident. His explosive power and versatility stood out, and he earned all-conference honors his senior year. By the time he left Alcorn State, he had been named Athlete of the Year in his conference 5 times, a record that spoke volumes. The NFL dream realized when the Green Bay Packers picked Donald Driver in the 7th round of the 1999 NFL Draft. Many people didn't expect much. He was from a small school, and at just 213th overall, he was nearly overlooked. But the scouts who chose him saw something others missed, a fighter with the heart of a champion. For Driver, it was the reward for years of hard work and a journey that started in the toughest of places. Still, his first few years in the NFL weren't easy. From 1999 to 2001, Driver didn't get much playing time. He was stuck behind veteran receivers like Antonio Freeman and Corey Bradford. Some players might have gotten discouraged, but not Driver. He had already learned through high school and college that success doesn't come overnight. So he kept working, stayed patient, and waited for his chance. When the veterans left, Driver stepped up. He proved he was ready, showing the same determination and drive that helped him go from a homeless teen to one of the NFL's most dependable wide receivers, professional excellence, and record-breaking achievements. Donald Driver's NFL career was all about consistency, toughness, and coming through when it mattered most. For 14 seasons, he was one of the most reliable wide receivers in the league, often racking up over 1,000 yards in a season. His strong work ethic and dependable hands made him a favorite for star quarterbacks like Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. It was clear that the struggles he faced growing up shaped the mental strength he showed on the field. His best season came in 2006. That year, he was one of the top receivers in the NFL, especially in making tough catches across the middle of the field. One standout game was on November 12th, when he caught 6 passes for a career-high 191 yards, including an 82-yard touchdown against the Vikings. He ended the season with 1,295 receiving yards and 92 catches, both personal bests, and earned a spot in the Pro Bowl. Driver was also part of some major NFL moments. In 2007, he caught the pass that broke Dan Marino's all-time passing record for Brett Favre. A few weeks later, he made a 90-yard touchdown catch, the longest play in Green Bay Packers playoff history. As the years went on, Driver began breaking records himself. In 2009, he became the Packers' all-time leader in receptions. In 2011, he became the team's all-time leader in receiving yards, passing the legendary James Lofton. But the biggest moment of his career came on February 6, 2011 in Super Bowl 45. Even though he injured his ankle early in the game, Driver came back for the final plays and helped the Packers win 31-25 over the Pittsburgh Steelers. A legacy honored. When Donald Driver retired on January 31st, 2013, it wasn't just the end of a football career, it was the end of a Packers era. He spent all 14 seasons with the Green Bay Packers, missing only 8 games outside his rookie year. That kind of durability and loyalty is rare. His retirement was just as special as his career. On February 6th, the Packers held a public ceremony in his honor, something they had never done for any other player. Held at Lambeau Field, it sold out in just 14 minutes. Team leaders gave heartfelt speeches, and the mayor of Green Bay presented Driver with a key to the city. A statue downtown was even updated to wear his number 80 jersey, and the street nearby was renamed Donald Driver Way. 4 years later, in 2017, he was inducted into the Packers Hall of Fame. His career stats: 743 catches, 10,137 yards, and 61 touchdowns are impressive, but they only tell part of the story. The real story is about a kid who once slept in a U-Haul truck, stole cars to survive, and then grew up to catch passes from NFL legends and inspire millions. He never forgot where he came from or the coaches who believed in him during his high school years at Milby High in Houston. Throughout his career, Driver was known not just for great plays, but for his attitude, leadership, and work ethic. After football, he kept giving back, especially to kids who faced the same tough road he once walked. His foundation now supports young people who need a second chance. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out more NFL content right here on the channel. Thanks for watching.